To impress with words, less is more. Even ordinary ideas can appear original if kept vague and open-ended. Powerful individuals impress by saying less. More words increase the risk of saying something foolish. This is Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Down on his luck, screenwriter Michael Arlen arrived in New York City in 1944 and headed to the famous 21 restaurant to drown his sorrows. In the lobby, he ran into Sam Goldwyn, who offered the unconventional advice of buying racehorses. Later, at the bar, Arlen met Louis B. Mayer, who asked about his future plans. When Arlen mentioned his chat with Goldwyn, Mayer interrupted, "How much did he offer you?" Arlen replied evasively, "Not enough." Mayer then proposed, "Would you take $15,000 for 30 weeks? Without hesitation, Arlen said, "Yes." This fascinating story comes from The Little Brown Book of Anecdotes. A reminder that sometimes fate finds us in the most unexpected places. In the early 5th century BC, Gnaeus Marcius, known as Coriolanus, was a legendary military hero who saved Rome time and again through his battlefield prowess. His scars, earned over 17 years of war, were proof of his sacrifice, and his name inspired awe among the Romans. Yet, when he entered politics in 454 BC, his arrogance and unchecked words shattered his legend. During his campaign for consul, he flaunted his confidence, insulted the common people, and opposed democratic principles, turning the citizens against him. Despite a final chance to redeem himself, Coriolanus doubled down on his disdain, leading to his exile and the collapse of his once heroic image. His story serves as a timeless lesson. True power lies not in speaking, but in mastering when to speak, and when silence is the wiser choice. Oysters open completely when the moon is full, and when the crab sees one, it throws a piece of stone or seaweed into it, and the oyster cannot close again, so that it serves the crab for meat. Such is the fate of him who opens his mouth too much, and thereby puts himself at the mercy of the listener. Leonardo da Vinci, 1452 to 1519. In the opulent court of Louis XIV, nobles and ministers would spend endless days and nights debating matters of state, forming and breaking alliances in a relentless pursuit of influence. Once 2 representatives were chosen to present their case to the king, the court would erupt into further debate. How to phrase the issue, what might appeal to or annoy Louis, even the best time and place to approach him. When the moment finally arrived, the chosen men would nervously stand before the king, who listened in silence, his expression unreadable. After their presentations, Louis would simply say, "I shall see," and walk away, leaving the court in suspense. Weeks later, his decision would be revealed through action, not words, as he never consulted them again. This calculated silence was no accident. It was a mask Louis wore to keep his courtiers off balance, revealing their own intentions while he revealed nothing. His infamous brevity, epitomized by phrases like "I shall see" and "L'État, c'est moi," meaning "I am the state," became a weapon of power and epitomized his belief in the divine right of kings, ensuring that no one could predict or manipulate him. In the end, Louis's silence kept his court terrified, obedient, and firmly under his control, proving that sometimes saying less can mean ruling more. In most areas of life, the less you say, the more profound and mysterious you appear. Andy Warhol learned this early on, realizing that talking too much often led people to resist or subvert his wishes. Instead, he embraced silence, discovering that power lies in saying less. Throughout his career, Warhol mastered the art of oracular speech, offering vague and ambiguous responses that left others searching for deeper meaning. He rarely explained his work, allowing others to interpret and debate it, a strategy he borrowed from Marcel Duchamp, who understood that the less an artist says, the more others talk, and the more valuable the work becomes. This principle extends beyond art. In business, relationships, and everyday interactions, saying less can make you more influential, leaving others intrigued and eager to listen. Silence, as Warhol showed, is not just an absence of words, it's a tool of power. Andy Warhol famously said, "I never say anything. I just listen." Silence is power. The less you say, the more you create an aura of meaning and authority. In 1825, Czar Nicholas I ascended to the throne of Russia amidst chaos, as a rebellion led by liberals demanding modernization erupted across the country. One of its leaders, Kondraty Ryleyev, was sentenced to death. But as he stood on the gallows, the unthinkable happened. The rope broke. At the time, such events were seen as divine intervention, and a failed execution often meant a pardon. Ryleyev, bruised but alive, saw this as a second chance. However, he made a fatal mistake. He shouted to the crowd, "You see, in Russia, they don't know how to do anything properly, not even how to make rope." When Tsar Nicholas heard these words, he tore up the pardon and ordered Ryleyev to be hanged again. This time, the rope held. The lesson? Once words are spoken, they cannot be taken back. Silence is not just golden, it's powerful. So choose your words carefully, or better yet, let your silence speak for you. One oft-told tale about Henry Kissinger involves a report that Winston Lord had worked on for days. After submitting it, Kissinger returned it with the notation, "Is this the best you can do?" Winston Lord rewrote and polished it, only to receive the same curt question again. Determined, he redrafted it once more, pouring his heart into every word. But when Kissinger returned it with the same question, Winston Lord finally snapped, shouting, "Damn it, yes, it's the best I can do." To which Kissinger calmly replied, "Fine, then I guess I'll read it this time." This story isn't just about perfection, it's about pushing boundaries, demanding excellence, and never settling for less. Kissinger's challenge wasn't just for Winston Lord. It was a lesson for all of us. Always strive to be your best. There are times when silence can backfire, arousing suspicion and insecurity, especially in your superiors. Mastering the balance between silence and words is the key to staying one step ahead.